Gotham, Oakland. Peace, y'all. What's up, Oakland? You know I had to do a video today. Oh my God. Janky promoters. I had to do my Ray Bobbitt exercise. So Ray Bobbitt tried to one up on me today. So I got a little funny story for you. While I'm telling it, let me put up the video. You got to see this. It is too funny. So this dude right here. Ray walked up during the rally, and I seen him and I started saying, "Hey Ray, where's the money, Ray? Where's that money for AASEG? Where's the time? So now we have to cut our budget. Now we have to cut our budget." And so I asked him, and I guess he wanted to come up and answer me. I'm gonna hear him in the audio. Hear the audio. In the video. Where's the money? 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 Look at him, look at him, look at him. Waddle away. Waddle away. And then he waddles away. You're supposed to be the CEO of AASEG. And you out here conducting yourself in this manner, running up on protests because they're naming you, because you can't stand to hear the truth about yourself. Just like most narcissists can't stand to hear the truth about themselves. So this episode is dedicated to our favorite janky promoter in Oakland, Ray Bobbitt. So we're going to talk about who Ray Bobbitt is today, give you a couple examples of his character, his business dealings, what he's into, and then you can decide for yourself if this is someone that you think the city of Oakland should be offloading treasured assets like our Coliseum without even having so much as an appraisal. So we're going to get into that real quick. But first, let's look at who is Ray Bobbitt. Ray Bobbitt is the founder and managing member of the AASEG, the African American Sports and Entertainment Group. He also serves as the president and sole shareholder of the Kifra Corporation, a facility management and urban consulting company founded 22 years ago in Oakland, California. They're calling him a community leader, and he's on all these boards and stuff like that. And maybe he does good work. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk to these people and see if he does good work. Now, it says here that he's a decorated veteran of Desert Storm, is a U.S. Marine, 4th LAAM Battalion. Now, this is Desert Storm. He was working at the nightclub during the same time period. Now, I asked Ray Bobbitt for his DD-214s today. He gave me a funny look. Now, I'm not saying he's not a veteran. I'm just saying when I asked him for his DD-214s, he gave me a funny look. So if you can, anybody is in the Desert Storm, 4th LAAM Battalion, which I believe may be some kind of, artillery or something like that, launching bombs. Let me know. Maybe he is a Marine and he served. What we do know is that Ray Bobbitt is a nightclub promoter. Primarily, he's a nightclub promoter. He started at 19 years old being a nightclub bouncer at a prolific club in San Francisco that is still one of the only 18 and older clubs in San Francisco. And this club is called City Nights. Now, I want to highlight this little section in an SFK article from some years ago, talking about the owner here, hanging out as the 70s. We don't have a place to go as teenagers. And his partner, Ray Bobbitt, sorry about that. Let me stop this video. Started as a bouncer in 1989 at 19. Just barely over the typical age of the club's patrons. For Bobbitt, it was the youth that really kept the club going. They want to be seen what it's like to be in a big nightclub and interface with a lot of different people from different areas. It's a unique thing to watch. He's still there. Um, he was a bouncer. I mean, Billy is a big guy, really big now. I imagine he may have been a little bit more fearsome and less rotund than back in the late 80s or whenever it was. And they say City's Night isn't without its issues, as they admit, but mitigating trouble is a part of any nightclub's business, even those that cater to younger clientele. There are lots of rumors that City Night and Ray Bobbitt keeps cash at the club to buy off people when things happen that they could be sued for. Now that's actually pretty smart. Well, he's a club promoter, a Janky club promoter of an 18 and older club in San Francisco. Where in the 60s, he's still hobnobbing with teenagers and making sure that they have a good time. No shade, no shade. But owning a stadium. Now let's look into his business practices so I can quantify why I have so many issues about what Bay is having. Bay Bobbitt wanted to bring a WNBA team to Oakland. This is very recently. You guys remember when Kaplan was bragging about bringing WNBA to Oakland? This is the guy that Kaplan was working with, was Ray Bobbitt. But a funny thing happened. He never even applied for a team. It looks like he lied and said that he was in the process or was a legitimate competitor to bring a WNBA team here. But again, as it turns out, he lied, and the WNBA says, we've never heard of this guy, he never applied. Let's look at the facts. We like to share our receipts here. Unlike Ak, who's always in the car crying, talking about, I'm going to show you the receipts next time. We never see him. He never shows them to us. I don't know what's up with that. But let's look at the first one. This is the first one here. October 13th, 2023, little less than a year ago, AASEG still pursuing WNBA expansion in Oakland despite uncertain timeline. Let's get some quotes from old Ray Ray. Despite a statement on Wednesday from the African American Sports and Entertainment Group saying the WNBA was still considering Oakland for a future expansion location, a league source told the Chronicle it is not adding another Bay Area team anytime soon. The WNBA announced a year ago that the Golden State Warriors were awarded the league's 13th franchise. The team will play out of the Chase Center in San Francisco. The team that we lost, one of our three sports teams that apparently are still in our media market, but it's not the same as having them at the Oracle. Nothing's been the same since the Warriors have left the Oracle, although they did win another ring. Go Dubs, go Dubs. I'm really positive about this year. I think that as much as I miss Clay, I think the new guy is going to fit in really well and be the Splash Brothers 2.0. But I digress. AASEG had been outspoken as his interest, but a league source told the Chronicle that the group had not formally been in touch about the WNBA since March. Now, Ray said, we were happy to meet with the WNBA in the last week. We asked the question if we're still authorized to continue our pursuit of a team, and the answer was yes. I'm going to read that again. This is important. This is why I clicked on the article. Ray Bobbitt said, we are happy to meet with the WNBA in the last week. And he said, we asked him if they're still authorized to conduct the pursuit of a team, and the answer was yes. A league source, however, who spoke with the Chronicle, said that was misleading characterization of the meeting's outcome, and that any future timeline for an expansion had not been decided. Before the addition of the Warriors expansion team last week, the WNBA had not been expanded since 2008 with the addition of the Atlanta Dream. So it looks like Ray was lying about picking the WNBA team. I've got another story. I've got another one for you just to show you the next week, November 14th, maybe a month after that story. Oakland group that lost the WNBA bid says the league didn't let them apply. So first he says it was all good. Now he's saying they didn't let him apply. Let's see what Ray had to say now. All right. The WNBA's arrival has been celebrated by most of the Bay Area. Yay, WNBA in the Bay Area. We're going to have a team here that makes no money that's going to have to be supplemented by the NBA team. Actually, though, I think they may have turned a corner this year. WNBA has been pretty exciting, and I did watch the championship and was quite impressed. So the product is improving, and I am excited to have a WNBA team here. But Ray Ray's not. Ray Ray's not excited because here it is here. It hasn't been the case for Oakland, the African American Sport and Entertainment Group. That group had been publicly pursuing the WNBA team in the city for more than 2 years. Although AASEG founder Ray Bobbitt admitted that he knew it would be tough to beat out the bid from the Warriors brass. Quote from Ray Ray, "Nobody here is confused about why the Warriors should get an NBA team. They're the Warriors. People lose to the Warriors. I mean, LeBron lost 3 times to the Warriors. Hey, we won one in Game 7. I was at that game. Go Cavs. I'm from Cleveland. I like the dub. That's my team 1B, but Cavs is my team 1A. And if we pay, I'm rooting for Cleveland. You don't have to be critical thinking to understand why. But in spite of his initial disappointment, Bobbitt still believes that Oakland is in the running for a WNBA team in the future. And he's saying that the league is telling AASEG that they are still interested in Oakland. Ray, look, man, the league officials keep telling you, we want to make sure you're not placing gold. But that's what you're doing. A source with knowledge of the situation told the SF Gate that the idea that the WNBA would consider adding a second team in the Bay Area anytime soon is inaccurate. It's inaccurate. The Athletic in the San Francisco Chronicle also reported that the league is not considering a second Bay Area team at this time. So we already got some issues here with Ray's story. Now we're going to move on. Did you know that 2 of the owners of the AASEG have an active lawsuit against Ray Bobbitt where they're accusing him of nefarious business practices and trying to steal the company from under their nose? This lawsuit is in binding arbitration next summer. So if these 2 plaintiffs win the lawsuit, does that change the structure of the deal? Let's take a look at the lawsuit itself. And actually, let me take away this banner so we can see the whole thing. And okay. Ray Bobbitt, an individual, or first, the Superior Court of California, County of Alameda. Brian Dixon, an individual, and Kareem Muhammad are the plaintiffs versus Ray Bobbitt, Levant Abaguli, and the African American Sports and Entertainment Group. There were 4 original partners in AASEG. 2 of those partners are now suing what they claim is a breach of contract. Let's read through the case. The plaintiffs, Brian Dixon and Kareem Muhammad, submitted the following proposition to the defense's motion to compel arbitration and state court proceeding. They won. It's going to arbitration. I'm sorry. They lost because it's going to arbitration, it appears. But let's look at the facts or the proposed facts of the case. According to allegations in the complaint in this matter, the plaintiffs, Brian Dixon and Kareem Muhammad, together with the defendants Raymond Bobbitt and Levant Opaguli, formed the limited liability company, the African American Sports and Entertainment Group, on September 24, 2020, with each member holding a 25% interest. The mission of AAG was to bring back professional sports to the Oakland Coliseum complex by redeveloping the site through an urban development mixed-use model using professional sports franchises as anchor tenants and attracting accelerated development opportunities, making the Oakland Coliseum site and surrounding areas a regional hub, new tourist destination for the San Francisco Bay Area region. Sounds great. Think about LA Live in LA. But LA Live had the Los Angeles Lakers. LA Live has the Los Angeles Clippers. Maybe some other stuff, but 2 NBA teams, not just 1, 2. These balloons are crazy. Every time I put up 2, balloons come with the piece. It's wild. That AI, I don't know. I got to figure out how to cut that off. Although I do like the balloons. I always say that. So what are they saying? They're going through that they formed the company, the formation of AASEG. The case arises out of ongoing disputes regarding the ownership and management of the African American Sports and Entertainment Group, as alleged in the complaint. I got to go back up. Let me start here. Plaintiffs brought suit after two steps undermining the very business they started, including offering unauthorized equity interest in the AASEG to four other individuals and secretly forming several other businesses in Delaware with deceptively similar names to AASEG, but only Bobbitt was the owner. And then inserting those businesses at the contracting parties to several pending deals, effectively ousting AASEG in plaintiff's interest. Really dirty. I don't know if you noticed, but the people who signed the Coliseum deal was not AASEG. Look up who signed the Coliseum deal. It isn't AASEG. Just pointing that out. So what happened here? What are they saying happened, Brian and Kareem? Well, they said that they started in 2020. They had 25%. And they met regularly during 2021 on company business. Things were going great. Then Bobbitt unilaterally promised ownership interest of AASEG to four outsiders. And with a Bugali, Ogbali, I hope I haven't been butchering his name. My bad, Ogbali, whatever the name is, tried to force a one-sided operation agreement upon the plaintiff. He tried to goon him out like a promoter, Janky promoters. He tried to goon out Brian and Kareem, and I think he may have been somewhat successful because he got them to sign something, what we'll get into next. The dispute arose around October 2021 after AASEG had been in operation for about a year when they became aware that without consulting either of them, other individuals, Samantha Wise, Lenise Jones, John Jones III, he got me blocked now, John Jones III, because I know that you're not on the up and up, and Jonathan Jones, whoever that is. And despite objections from Dixon and Muhammad, Bobbitt and Ogbali pushed forward with the four outsiders in an effort to wrest control over the business of the plaintiffs. Now, there's a lot more to this case, but there are a couple of things that I wanted to go through in the just to get you the real tea. Let's look at Kareem Muhammad's, and let's look at the end when he's talking about. So he's including all the filings of AASEG. Here you have the original owners. Here you have some exhibits about them legitimizing it, bank accounts, and now you have some text message. On November 13, 2021, at 10:08 p.m., Kareem said to Ray, just putting this out there, the founders need to set an operating agreement and not the full group. We're going to screw up the whole structure of the business. We need to set an operating agreement, then present it to other members to go over. We need levels and structure. We need to set a structure of our business as a company or it's going to fail. We as founders need to step up and take accountability and show leadership. And then you have some other Zoom meetings. And then you have even more. Is there a reason that checks and balances were removed from the operating agreement, such as having multiple members in meetings, no solo decisions without making it to be brought to its members within an expedited time frame for discussion, vote, and or approval? Ray, you operate just like Sheng Thao. This is why you and Sheng Thao are friends, because you're both janky promoters. Here we have another text message. John Jones III. Good afternoon. I want to apologize for my outburst last night. There's no place in the room for that or a business setting. Were you drunk, John? Were you drunk? We know you be hitting the bottle pretty hard, John Jones III. Next time I see you, you probably going to want to try to take a swing at me. But just remember, before you consider any violence against my person, is it worth your life? I don't think so. Then we have another one, another email. Now, I'm not going to read this whole one because I'm trying to wrap this episode up, but I'm going to leave it up there while I say a few things. So those of you who, if you can even see this, it looks like it's pretty tiny, but if you can put a magnifying glass out and read that or blow up your screen, his business owners were crying big time about this this deal. Okay. A couple more things to show you about Ray, before I close it out, Ray, you should have never came and tried to take a microphone from my hand today. You see this mic? You can't take my microphone, man. This is my freedom of speech. You're welcome to get your own microphone. You could have showed up with your own sound system. You could have used your voice, a megaphone, whatever you wanted. You could have beeped your car horn over and over again and been a joke about it. But what you don't do is come up, try to put your hands on me, and take my microphone. You plays yourself. Why does AASEG have an escape clause for November 6th, the day after the election? Ask yourself, why would that be the case? Now, this thread right here is great, and I want to read this verbatim because I think this encapsulates just how ridiculous the stadium deal is and how Sheng Thao and Ray Bobbitt are lying and deceiving the public or are completely incompetent. It looks like an elaborate ruse to avoid the deal collapsing before the election. The mayor obviously faces a huge recall fight. The city is staring down a $177 million budget deficit, but Thao refuses to make budget cuts due to our public safety crisis. He said for a while he admired her grit. Her plan closing a $177 million deficit was to sell the Coliseum. She wanted to sell a house to pay the credit card bill. Remember that. Sheng Thao wants to sell the house to pay the credit card bill. And from this Coliseum deal, the city would receive $15 million by September 1st. We've covered this several times on Gotham. Go back and cover the Coliseum deal, part 1 and 2. If you want to catch up, I can't go back through it right now. But they violated that term. They also said that we will get another $15 million by the September 1st, $15 million by November 1st, another $33 million by January 15th, 2025. And that $63 million will help save the city from severe budget cuts. But if any of those payments fell through, the contingency budget will be triggered for significant budget cuts to police and fire. Well, unfortunately, all of the payments have fallen through. But the mayor and her staff are acting like the deal is going swimmingly, but in reality, it's a huge scandal. And this is why today, when I saw Ray, I asked him, where is the money, Ray? Where's Oakland's money so we don't have to cut police and fire? There are even newspaper headlines making it sound like it was a win for the mayor because the media is disgusting. This is why we're going to take your lunch money. Let's be clear. Ray Bobbitt, AASEG, and Mayor Sheng Thao have missed every single aforementioned deadline. Reports say that we received $5 million, not the $15 million. And the mayor and her city council teammates, or cabal as I call them, have ignored questions from their council colleagues asking for proof of funds and documentation of the negotiation. Everything has been closed door and hush-hush, which is potentially illegal and a violation of the Brown Act. Recently, things got interesting. The mayor's office shared an updated payment schedule with the deadline to receive $10 million deposit by October 7th, far less than the initial $30 million by November 1st. This came with an increased total purchase price and a faster deal timeline. But this total purchase price won't be realized to the end of next year's fiscal year if we get it. And meanwhile, we won't have any time to pivot because we're going to spend everything we have facing bankruptcy. So yesterday on October 7th, Thao told the Chronicle that the city had received an outstanding $10 million payment, when in reality, the contract attached to the same article reveals it's not true. The contract clearly states that the buyer need only provide evidence of funds by October 7th, meaning the city has not received any of it yet. It gets worse. Not only did when they not receive the funds, it turns out that the $10 million won't be released until it turns out the $10 million, I'm sorry about that, won't be released from escrow until November 7th, 2 days after the election. But there's more. The agreement says the buyer can back out of the deal at any time, and they get to keep their $10 million as long as it fits by November 6th, 1 day after Election Day. So essentially, they're telling the public that they have the money when they don't. Escrow is not the same as getting paid. And the due date 1 day after the election, so they can use this as a political win, only to cancel at the last minute. Now he goes on to say, look, I have no idea if this deal is happening or not. I have no inside information, but the contract is public and clear. The money is in escrow, and the city likely doesn't have access to the $10 million. We were told that severe budget cuts will be in place if we did not get the $15 million by September. And in reality, we would not receive that money until after the November 5th election, if at all. Yet there are no budget cuts being discussed or announced. Another day in Oakland politics under Sheng Thao. So I've got one more video to show, and then we're going to wrap it up. Because Oakland right now, fiscal health is in jeopardy due to this Coliseum sale. And it's just disgusting to see our media cover. No one is talking about. No one is talking about it. Now, Oakland had to cut public safety because Ray Ray wants to play game. Where's the money, Ray? Well, let's watch this last video. Took place a couple weeks ago. And since then, it's received little scrutiny. And we're cutting police and fire. Contingency budgets have been triggered.
Sheng Thao is fighting hard against the effort to recall her. She held a rally today, but as she fights the recall, some city council members are pushing for answers about cuts underway as Oakland's contingency budget has been triggered. ABC 7 News reporter Anza Hassan has more on what those cuts could be.
Mayor Thao, when will you guys announce?
Oh, you can schedule an appointment so I could give you an interview.
Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao avoided questions from the media when leading a rally against her recall. Questions about
She thought she was cooking.
Dilemma.
The city administrator has confirmed verbally in writing many times that we are in the contingency budget and cuts are already being made.
Oakland City Council member Janany Ramachandran says City Council is now trying to figure out what cuts are being made and what are being prioritized. On Friday, Oakland's finance department released this informational report with updates to the current budget. It shows an operating deficit of almost $80 million.
We don't know what's going to happen first. I hope that it's not going to be a brownout of 5 fire stations and a complete slashing of officers to 600, but that's on the table because that is what council passed.
The current year's budget was built around the massive sale of the Oakland Coliseum. $58 million was to be paid in 3 installments between September 2024 and February 2025. An additional $42 million paid by the summer of 2025. But changes to the purchasing agreement now means the city will get one lump sum payment of $95 million in May.
That's $48 million that we don't have in the bank to be able to use for operating expenses.
The city of Oakland released a document on Friday which states budget amendments were always a likely necessity, regardless of whether the parties amended the Coliseum
That's a lie.
or not. Friday's finance report also states
That's a lie.
Oakland's expenses are higher and revenues lower than initially forecasted. Friday's finance report states, quote, Oakland's fiscal health is at significant risk. Councilmember Trevor Reed says the mayor needs to be more transparent about the cuts.
As the mayor will share, she's the CEO. And she continues to remind us that all of those department leaders and department directors fall under her control. And so she has the ability to leverage her role of leadership and authority to determine how we receive and what we receive from those leaders.
Reed and Ramachandran both voted against tying the Coliseum sale to the current budget. City Council can reopen the budget and make changes. The next finance meeting will be October 22nd in Oakland. Anza Hassan, ABC.
So there you have it. They're playing politics with public safety. We have to cut police and fire. Ray Ray didn't come up with the money on time. Sheng Thao is lying, trying to save her political future. Everything she does is for her to survive a recall. None of it has anything to do with Oakland's financial health. We are on the brink of financial ruin because of the irresponsibleness of these progressives. They are incompetent and dishonest. They have pimped this city. And Oakland is nearing its last trick. But we're not going to let it happen. We're not going to let it happen. The neighbors have taken our city back. Well, not yet. 6.5 more days to Election Day. So make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. Remember the things that you're seeing and hearing. This, what is going on? No one who's done business ever thinks that this is okay. This is how you know the majority of these progressives and have never owned a business. This is how you know they've never made any money. They've received participation trophies. They've been carried by the nonprofit industrial complex, or public sector labor union. They've never signed checks on the back. I'm sorry, the front. They signed checks on the back. They've never signed checks on the front. They've never seen a profit and loss sheet and been able to make any sense of it. Our mayor can't even explain to us how a bond works. Oakland is in dire straits for a reason. It's because of our leadership. But we're going to fix that. That's why you're here in Gotham Oakland. It feels good to be back. Y'all can't take my microphone. You can't take my microphone. No matter how hard you try, I'll defend this microphone, my freedom of speech, with my life. Act accordingly. God bless you, Oakland. Peace out.
Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here. Yo, I swear it's only up from here.